Hey everybody, this is the addendum to my review of Space Colony, in which I talk about the Steam edition, which just came out on April 30th of this year. Now, this is the second re-release of the game. The first one was Space Colony HD, which is really more of a patch than anything else, and that's still available on GOG, but this is the Steam edition, which includes some additional features that I will get to in a moment. If you have not seen my review of Space Colony, I highly recommend watching that because I'm not going to tread over the same ground here. This is specifically just talking about the Steam edition, what's different, and whether I think it's worth getting. I will of course have a link in an annotation as well as the video description box to where you can take a look at my original review of this game, and I will post a annotation in the original review showing the addendum as well. So without further ado, let's talk about what makes Steam Edition a bit different from just Space Colony HD. It does still include all of the same stuff that you saw in Space Colony HD. Still brings the resolutions up to modern resolutions. Still looks fine, still plays fine as far as the Space Colony HD stuff goes. But this time around they have included Steam Workshop support, allowing you to upload your own scenarios and maps and such like that, as well as download maps and scenarios and such from the workshop. Now, I honestly don't know how moddable this game is, so I don't know if we'll see a lot of more substantial mods, but as it stands, it's currently just scenarios and maps. But that does add some replayability. The other things they did to it are fairly insignificant, if you ask me. Namely, Steam trading cards and achievements. While they're nice to have, they're not really something I would consider essential or a really big upgrade to the game. They're just nice to have. And so, if you're into that sort of thing, they're now available in Steam Edition. They also rebalanced the easy mode. Now, I don't play this thing on easy, so I didn't really take a look at that. But this game can be pretty challenging, so if they fixed up the easy mode, then that certainly is a nice touch for those of you who aren't particularly strong strategy or management players. And then there's the second campaign that they added in, which you currently can only access if you complete the original campaign of the game. So I haven't really had all that much time to be able to delve into this thing and just go through the entire campaign again. I did that twice already, and I kind of don't want to do it again. So I'm not going to go through the entire campaign just to get to the new stuff, but they did add in an additional campaign on top of that. So if you get it now and you've never played Space Colony before, this is pretty much the definitive version of the game to get. It has the most content, it has everything HD. I mean, it's still a 2D isometric game, but it's all brought up to modern resolutions. It still has very solid production values, it still has very solid gameplay, and unfortunately it still has all of the same problems from the original Space Colony. So, again, that's why I recommend you watch my review of the original game. Because while I did enjoy Space Colony, it was a very flawed gem. It's certainly not perfect, and it's not for everybody, but if you look at this thing and go, well, that looks interesting, it's kind of a combination of some ideas from The Sims as well as a management game and that sort of thing all mixed together, it's still definitely a very interesting and very unique game, and it's still well worth playing to this day. But now that this edition is out, you have to ask yourself a question. Do you want the extra features that the Steam edition comes with, or do you want to stick with the original version of the game, only just updated to modern resolutions and such? Which is basically what Space Colony HD is. This is basically $10 more for this extra content, this extra campaign, this Steam features. And while I wouldn't say it's an absolute must, if you've never played Space Colony before, or if you just have only played it a while back and you want a digital version, this is the version to get. It's most complete, most content, you'll get the most bang for your buck. Now, it remains to be seen how much use the Steam Workshop is going to be getting, because I don't really know how big the player base for this is going to be and how many people from the Space Colony community are going to bring their stuff over to the Steam edition. But we'll see. And frankly, it's just really nice that the developer is still supporting their game so long after it was released. The original game came out in 2003, so that should tell you something right there. I have been very impressed with Firefly's commitment to making sure that their original games are still very much playable and very enjoyable, even a decade or so after they were released. So if you find yourself interested in Space Colony, go ahead and take a look at the Steam edition. Thanks for watching.